Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Boomer and Zoomer podcast. Yeah. We'll start off with our first host, the Boomer himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Raging Rock. What's up, player? What's up?
Greetings, citizens.
There you go. Got my man over here with the most obscure knowledge of the most obscure. My boy Vampiro. What's up, player?
What up, what up?
You got myself, Mr. Lonely, a.k.a. Capo, a.k.a. Don't call me at night because I'm asleep. What's up, guys?
That's real. That's real.
Real talk.
Yeah. So
Don't hit up my phone. I'll be asleep.
How have you gentlemen been since the last time we talked?
Good.
Yeah.
Same old.
BS because of work, because of the holidays.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. Autumn turkeys. Autumn jive turkeys.
Nah. Whoa. Can we say that nowadays? Is that okay to say nowadays?
Yeah, you can say that.
You can say that?
Call somebody a jive turkey?
Yeah.
All y'all jive turkeys. Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah. It almost, I think the reason why you can get away with it because it literally phased out. Like that's such a 70s and 60s thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, if out of that era, it's just weird.
Yeah.
It's like, who says that?
Yeah.
Sucker! What are you doing, sucker?
I know, right? All that old talk.
Like the 60s and 70s is like the only time where that ever worked.
Yeah.
Right when it jumped into the 80s, it was just like, nope,
Yeah.
gone.
When's the last time you guys called somebody a brother?
I don't know,
Yesterday.
man.
Yesterday?
yeah, but
Yesterday?
you're in Hawaii. Like you say that.
Yeah,
It's different. It's different though.
Yeah, that's that.
Hey, brother. Like, however you guys say, like, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. It's different. Like you hear that quite often here. Well, with the different I guess you could say twang to it.
Yeah.
You know, say brada bra.
Yeah.
Or of course if you're around my dad's side of the family, they're all in motorcycle clubs. You'll hear that just because that's how bikers talk to each other within their clubs. They'll be like, "Hey, brother."
Yeah.
I don't know for some reason, like I got like Hookamania thinking.
I know, right? I was just thinking that too. Like, yeah, brother.
Yeah, same thing. I was like,
Yeah. Oh shoot.
talking about Rock's time right there. But so you guys doing good?
Rockstar. Yeah. Been doing good. Oh, before I forget, I got to give a shout out to Tanya. She's the one that does all the voiceovers on the podcast and all the voiceovers on my channel. So if you hear a female voice, she pretty much. Damn! Oh, damn, that's wrong.
I get it.
But no, if you hear,
Hey, you know what? I'm not mad. I don't like hearing the sound of my own voice. I'm very good at talking and public speaking. As soon as you give me the playback, I'm like, turn it off.
I don't either. But yeah, thank you, Tanya.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're a real one.
Real one.
You're the real MVP around here.
Yeah. So yeah, she.
Yeah, because we can't read.
I know.
No.
I pick up and be like, y'all, need to get stuff. Bacon soda and cook that.
The dog.
I start reading Cat in the Hat like Floyd Mayweather and stuff. No, I'm just playing. But no, she hooks us up. She does all the voiceover. She did the voiceover for the things we're going to play today, and she chooses the stories. And she tries to find something out there in the news, either in the news or pop culture. I don't think it has to be a news story, but yeah, she does all the reading and give us topics to talk about.
Also, we're on IG now.
Oh, nice.
We are on IG, so go put BNZ podcast, and we'll be right there. Hey, it's all set up now.
Nice. Can't wait to check it out.
Let's go.
I mean, I did a couple minutes ago, but yeah, it's set up now.
It's all good.
Yeah, literally a couple minutes ago. I just got the notification. It's just like 12 minutes ago.
I'm shaving. I'm like, this is the perfect time to go do it.
Yeah, I was shaving. Yeah, I got
that was funny.
I got to shave before I get on camera, man, or else I'll I look all bummy and stuff. They look like
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bum. What do you gotta look good for?
what? Man, I always gotta look good. I'm a tiger out there. Still a tiger out there. Yeah.
Small cat.
Small,
Small cat. Small cat.
all the small cats.
Small cats.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Still a beast out there. But yeah.
Oh god, that's
But
funny.
yeah, so
What are you beasting at? No, never mind. I don't even want to ask. So yeah, we'll start off.
we're gonna start off here. We're gonna get one of these news stories going. I believe it's a news story, so let me get it damn man. Got
There's a
fire, I
fire.
know, right? Whoop whoop.
Well, because they know this podcast is fire.
I
That's
know,
why.
right?
That's why it goes off.
I spits hot fire.
Cool. It drove by.
Hot fire.
Okay, it may not have. I'm just gonna mute. Just go ahead and read it.
All right.
I'll unmute it when it's gone.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play the first story. So let's hear what we got here. Let's hear what we got.
From the Daily Mail, they say PE teacher, 44, who flashed her breast, sat in a pupil's lap, and got drunk at school prom is banned from classrooms. A PE teacher from Norfolk has been struck off after getting drunk and flashing her breast in a photograph with pupils at a school prom. Catherine Lake, 44, faced complaints over inappropriate behavior with pupils at a Year 11 prom at Rebham High School in Norfolk in June 2019. A teacher's disciplinary panel heard she had drunk 8 glasses of wine before attempting to sit on one student's lap, smoked a cigarette with another, then exposed her breast while posing with 5 pupils in a photo
Sounds
booth.
cool.
Mother of 1, Lake is married and was head of PE at the school near Norwich from January 2008 until she was sacked in September 2019. She admitted her actions were unacceptable professional conduct but said she could not recall the events as she was under the influence of alcohol. The Teaching Regulation Agency panel, which heard the case on October 26th of this year, recommended she should be struck off. However, she may be able to get back into the classroom if she convinces another panel that she is fit to return to teaching after 2 years.
Dang.
Where was she? at when I was
Question
in-
number 1. Was
No,
she like how we had students, or like was she like what we vision a 44-year-old teacher look like when we grew up, like where it's like nah, or is she one of these new 44-year-old teachers where they look like they're in their 30s or 20s?
I don't know, man. Like it's the first question. Let's I don't know. I got a picture of her here. We'll put it on the screen for all of them, but hold up. So we got a picture of her here.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. You're in school. You're in school. You don't mind. You wouldn't mind. You wouldn't mind. You in school. You wouldn't mind.
It's like you're in school. So that just goes to show like how guys think of that. Like if anybody
Rationalize it.
like first thing he said was like, okay, now is she one of those teachers that like what does she look like? That was his question. It was like, what does she look like?
Just saying.
If that was it, if that was like women or something like that, they'll be like, how disgusting, how horrible, like fire her.
Yeah.
The first thing he thought of was like what does she look like?
What she look like?
So
What she look like though?
Yeah. That's like I think a year or 2 ago, Joe Rogan had a stand-up. I think it was either Strange Times or Triggered. He said, I think it was last year. He said that nobody cares if the victim's a boy.
Nope.
Nobody cares. Now, if we've with literally proof right here, I was like, what she look like? Because he said that if you flip that, then it was like, suck it up, you saw boobs, whatever. But if you flipped it and it was some dude just whipping his junk out at a prom with a bunch of high school girls, we would hang him in the street.
As we should.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. Nobody cares. It's a boy. It's sad.
yeah.
No, but nobody cares because they're just gonna be like, suck it up, you saw boobs, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like that one South Park episode where like all the guys, they were just like, oh, who was the teacher? They say the teacher's name. They were like, nice.
Also, another weird toss up. Again, it's just like nobody cares. She said it was 11th grade. Was that like junior year?
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
you're almost 18. You don't think that they're gonna like? You don't think there's somebody who's already hitting on that teacher as is?
I
You
guarantee
know what I
there is.
mean?
I guarantee you there is.
There's gonna be some kid that's like, "Yo, that teacher's hot." It's that weird gray area of teenage boys. No one really cares
there's
now
double.
if they're younger.
Yeah, that's just all a part of the double standard or whatever. I mean, it's just how it is.
Yeah,
I mean, because
yeah.
by all intents and purposes, like, I mean, they did the right thing to firing her. I do believe she does deserve an opportunity to, to get her job
Yeah,
back somewhere else.
she was drunk, right?
She was drunk. Yeah, she was drunk.
Yeah. Also, like
Ah.
I just say like on the bright side, at least there were like juniors in high school.
Yeah.
They're probably already humping each other anyway. You know what I mean? But if you were to take that back to like middle school or
Yeah.
even younger, there's like, yo, they just want to play Pokemon cards and
Yeah.
like watch Vine videos.
Yeah.
But you're almost in high school. It's like I said, no one's gonna care because they're teenage boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, like none of them's gonna care. Like how old were you when you were a junior? I was 17, almost 18 or whatever.
16.
You know,
16?
I
Yeah.
know friends in high school that
16-ish,
were
yeah.
already like
Yeah,
active at like 16, if not 15. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like no one cares. No one really cares about what happens to the boys.
Nah.
That's just the truth. No one cares.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
agreed.
unless I'm out of line here, but that's just what I see.
Nah, she sounds cool to me. She shared cigs with them. She showed him the boobs. Come on.
So
She's cool with me.
So the panel says give her a pass. I see.
Well, yeah, they're already gonna like. She has to like go in front of like the school district and say like, "Yo,
Yeah.
my bad, I was drunk." And so, hey, it'll work itself out.
Yeah.
And also, I guarantee some of those kids at that prom were already intoxicated.
Probably.
Like, I guarantee it. 17 years old, high school.
Oh yeah.
You're either high or drunk.
Oh yeah.
Or both.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys go to prom?
She put it out.
Yeah.
Dude, man, I went to a number of proms. Went to a number like back in high school, man. Like
Back in my day.
back in my day. Like now, I went to a bunch of proms. Went to a bunch of homecomings. Went to one.
I did.
Yeah,
Went to one
same.
in Pasadena, California, and went to a bunch of them in Vegas.
I did.
I
not.
kind of
That's good
like
one.
same thing here, or I went to school on Guam because it's a tiny little island. Everybody went. You don't even have to go to that school, but it was just a place to be because it's the place where we live was so small.
Yeah.
It just became like an
Yeah.
island party. It's like, oh, they're having prom, we're all going.
Yep.
Oh, they're having prom, we're all. And when I mean all, I mean the other high schools are going to show up because the island is so tiny.
Yeah. That's legit. That's legit.
Yeah, no, that's good mine.
But I'm guaranteed somebody's going to be super triggered with what we just had to say.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But-
Yeah. By all intents and purposes, like by the law, yeah, she messed up. But like,
Oh, guaranteed, 100%,
but
100%.
are people going to care? No. It's
No.
just the school
No one cares about teenage boys.
yeah, the school district
Nobody.
had to do that because that's
Yep.
if they
Mhm.
didn't, then that would have been bad. But
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the truth. Nobody cares about the teenage boys at that age.
They just put it out there. Is it going to drink my tea now?
I mean, you gotta admit, if you were to hear your nephew or cousin who's 17, just about to become 18, is like, "Yo, my teacher showed me her boobs at my prom." You'll be like, "What?"
High five.
Tell me the story.
Come here. High five.
If you said you wouldn't, you're lying.
Yeah.
You are lying.
You's a liar.
Dang. All right. Let's hear this next one here. Hear what we got.
From the New York
She should
Post,
start her
giant
OnlyFans.
New York rats overtaking Central Park and the Upper West Side. Rat school is in session as fed-up New Yorkers try to learn how to deal with a surging rodent population. Rats as big as bunnies are roaming the streets in broad daylight, nesting in trees and chewing through car engine wires that can cost thousands to fix. Complaints about rats to the 311 hotline have totaled 12,632 so far this year, a third more than the 9,042 for all of 2019. With the Upper West Side teeming with the hungry critters, Assemblywoman Linda Rosenthal and City Health Department sponsored the latest incarnation of Rat Academy.
Hold up, let me play that again real quick. Hey, did somebody get the dog?
Yeah, I have them.
Like, bring them in a room or... No, just playing. Like, bring him in a room or something so he stops barking.
Uh,
You need to keep that there, but you might get attacked by PETA.
yeah, it's still funny though.
No, that's getting edited out.
Funny,
all right. But I'm about to play this again. Hold on. We'll play this again.
From the New York Post, giant New York rats overtaking Central Park and the Upper West Side. Rat school is in session as fed-up New Yorkers try to learn how to deal with a surging rodent population. Rats as big as bunnies are roaming the streets in broad daylight, nesting in trees and chewing through car engine wires that can cost thousands to fix. Complaints about rats to the 311 hotline have totaled 12,632 so far this year, a third more than the 9,042 for all of 2019. With the Upper West Side teeming with the hungry critters, Assemblywoman Linda Rosenthal and City Health Department sponsored the latest incarnation of Rat Academy. 2 hours of rat prevention training live streamed Tuesday to nearly 4 dozen supers, tenants, and homeowners. The city began such training sessions about 10 years ago. Gil Dubove, president of the West 83rd Street Block Association, has a PhD in Rat Academy from sitting in a couple of sessions, including Tuesdays. Rats are devious, she's pronounced with authority, and they're smart. Not a day goes by that Amanda Levine doesn't see at least one rat. She sprays her Jeep Grand Cherokee with a cocktail of cinnamon and mint, oils, and water, under the hood and on all four wheel bearings, to ward off the critters. In her apartment complex at 170th Street between Amsterdam and Broadway, her neighbors tell her they hear scratching behind the walls. Levine ticks off 4 reasons why she thinks rats have invaded the Upper West Side: outdoor dining, more homeless New Yorkers, shoddy street cleaning, and the biggest, trash not being picked up often enough, both from the cans on the sidewalk corners and the stacks of bags hauled to the curb by the building supers. The Department of Sanitation is responsible for both street cleaning and garbage collection. Spokesman Joshua Goodman told the Post that DSNY is committed to keeping the city clean and reducing the rat population. Only when residents, businesses, and the city work together can we address a problem that is as old as persistent as the city of New York itself, Goodman said.
Man, leave Master Splinter alone.
Dang.
Leave Master Splinter alone,
I know, right?
man. He's just trying to eat. Like, come on. He's trying to provide a better life for his 4 kids, man. Come on.
Man, in New York, it is way easy for rats to... I mean, it's so filthy. It's so nasty. You walk down like downtown. You walk what is it? What's the big area down there?
Times
Square. Yeah, you walk down near Times Square. It just smells like rancid piss everywhere. Everywhere.
Sounds like the Strip.
and the rats, like them rats are cut. They're like on steroids. It's ridiculous.
I'm saying, leave
rats
Master Splinter
get
alone.
huge. Rats get huge.
Yeah, rats get huge. Yeah,
and they're not playing. Like, rats are ridiculously smart.
Yeah,
ridiculously smart.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people actually have them as pets, because they're really smart. You can train them to do so many. You can train them like a dog.
Yeah,
like potty train them, everything. Like, rats are scary smart, and then a smart feral rat, terrifying.
Yeah.
That's
I've never dealt with them, so yeah.
I would use them to feed.
I mean,
feed
I
my
used
snake.
to. Yeah.
Feed them to the snakes. That's what I.
Yeah, I learned a lot about rats because when I was living in Colorado and I was selling snakes, we had the rats, so I had to know about them. And then, of course, I learned they actually make really good pets. Like, they really do. And believe it or not, rats that as pets are very, very clean. Rats are actually extremely clean. It's crazy how clean they actually are. Of course, if you get a rat that's running around in the sewer, that's different. But a pet rat is going to be one of the cleanest things in your house. Like, guaranteed. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, rats are, but still, a random rat will still scare the shit out of you.
I want to go back to what does she do to her car? That way they don't get to her car.
Yeah, spraying it with with herbs and spices.
And everything nice.
Yeah, that smelled.
I've never heard
That
of
sounded good. She was like, "Yeah, put cinnamon in this one." I was like, "Dang,
Yeah. Something like a gingerbread cookie while driving down the street.
make the rats want to eat the
It
wires
didn't make
more."
sense. Yeah, it didn't sound
I
like
might take a
something
chunk
that
out of
would.
it.
It didn't sound like a concoction or cocktail that would deter anything.
Yeah, for real.
Oh,
It
but that'd
really
be.
didn't.
What do you want her to smell like ammonia or something? Like then she wouldn't be able to drive the car. Come on now, it has to be something nice.
Yeah,
But that sounds too nice.
that's
That sounds too nice.
that's horrible. Man.
But then again, she's probably the same lady. The
No.
person who did this cocktail is probably the same person who thinks essential oils can cure cancer.
I mean,
So
she could have just got some rat poison and put it under.
Wait, but we got to go back. She has a PhD in rats. That's a thing.
Oh, wait a second. They said that she had a PhD in rats. No, I
yeah, the rat university gave her a PhD.
What?
Yeah.
As somebody who used to sell exotic animals and had to learn about this stuff, there's no such thing as a rat PhD. From my understanding, it's usually like a broad stroke in like mammals or like, you know what I mean? You don't just go there and I want a degree in rats. No, you have to study that whole genetic line, you know,
Rat
mammals and rodents and stuff.
University.
Oh, he's Googling it. Here we go.
We have to. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Courses from Rat Behavior University. Rat Biology and Behavior.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Basic colony defense. 100. The next step is 105. Becoming top rat. This is actually a course. Enforcing dominance in the rat pack. In the rat pack.
You know, if there was no context, you would think you're like describing how to survive prison.
Yeah.
Basic cage keeping. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like prison classes. Yeah. How to be the top snitch.
Deviant stashing. Yeah. You gotta hide the stash. Water balloons and all, you know?
Hey.
With no context, you would think we're talking about prison right now.
Staying safe. Free ranging. 100.
Yeah.
Speed shredding. Yeah, you know. You gotta work out when you're locked up, you know?
Yeah.
This is really a course. This is crazy.
That's interesting. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So, what do you do with that degree? Do you just apply to extermination companies or
I don't know. I'm quite sure.
Go work at Equizno Subs? Like, what do you do with that?
I'm quite sure you could use it to, life, some sort of science.
You know what? I guarantee you it's some kind of pseudoscience that you can work at some like big company. Like, for example, I was watching a podcast and they brought in these lawyers, and their whole goal was to, help wrongful convictions and like fix them.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about pseudosciences, and he said that blood splatter analysis is the most thing ever because he said you can get it done in a 40-hour course.
Okay.
And literally like a CrossFit trainer, just take it over the weekend, and then you are a blood splatter expert, and then you can go work at a police station. I bet you this rat university is the same kind of
Enroll in pest control professional course.
Maybe, or there's a lot of laboratories that do tests.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Mice and rats. So maybe
that's true too.
Which now that I think about it, like now that nobody's out in the streets, well, they weren't supposed to be in the streets back then. Like that would make it more of a problem because back then, like everybody would be on the street, especially New York, because you're walking everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you can't go out your house, like I could imagine that becoming a worse problem. Like, well, because
they're peeking through the sewers, like they haven't been outside. Go.
Yeah,
man, leave Ratatouille alone. He's just trying to cook.
Actually, you know what? Now that you said that, that makes a lot of sense. Why there's all of a sudden this huge influx? No one's outside scaring them.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, trash guys not doing their jobs
They
because they
weren't doing it
can't.
before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally,
Or even more so.
totally off topic. Since we're talking about about Master Splinter, like, have you heard? I know you're big into the comic books and stuff, Peter. Have you heard about the last Ronin?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, I have.
So good.
yeah,
So good. Ah.
yeah. I'm thinking about getting that whole little series there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty dope.
good.
It's pretty dope.
So good.
Yeah,
Super
Ah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
And sad at
it
the
is
same
sad.
time.
It
Yeah.
is sad though. I was like, man,
All right, here's a premise with no spoilers. The Last Ronin is a limited series of a outcome of all of Team Turtles. All were killed
Yeah.
except for one turtle.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say who the last one is because that was the biggest speculation until it came
Yeah.
out. And then when it finally came out, it blew up over the internet. But if you avoided it, go pick it up because and it's called The Last Ronin because a Ronin is a samurai with no master.
Mhm.
So he is this turtle. All his brothers were killed. Splinter gone. He is the only one on a quest for revenge. It is so dope.
They slowly
dope.
killed them off, right?
I'm a little behind. I've only read the first one.
Yeah,
But-
because I have the first one too, where like the thing happens and you're like, "What? This is how you're gonna
Yeah.
start it off?"
Yeah,
What?
It punches you right in the face.
Yeah.
Like, from the get.
It-
It's
it-
like, oh,
See,
yeah, it's super
see,
dope.
I gotta get it. I know who it is. It's just I gotta.
but we don't want to spoil it. We don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's been out for a while. You could, whoever's listening could probably already know this, but if you're slowly getting into the comic book world, this was like the Bigfoot like conspiracy of the comics. Everyone's assuming who it is, and everyone's like, "Oh, it can't be this brother because he wouldn't last 5 minutes by himself." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And it was just all over the internet. And when it finally dropped, as far as the comic book world, it broke the internet.
Yeah.
You couldn't go onto a comic forum without people talking about it. It was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's.
Well, hold up. Rock, you like comics?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had them for years, but yeah, I like comics. Yeah. Like when I heard about this,
newspaper comic, that's what.
when I heard about this, I was like, yeah, I'm getting back into the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then there's me who spends ungodly amount of money on comics.
Dude, I know you.
Ah,
Your collection is crazy.
Don't ever invite me to your house because I have one in my mind that I will steal from you, and I will never give it back to you.
Oh shoot!
I don't ever invite me or let me sleep over. Don't ever let me do that because there's one in particular that you got that I always looked for. I never found it. You got it, so like, don't
Which
ever
one is
invite me.
it?
I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you.
He's like, you're just gonna look in your box and it's missing.
Okay.
I
didn't
highly
know.
doubt you have this.
I didn't know you were into comics, Capo.
Yeah. I picked it up maybe when I was 20, around there. I started collecting, and so like I looked for the special gems, some of the stuff that I like to read, and then so like a big thing that I was really getting into was like Gambit from the X-Men. And I always liked his story and stuff, and like then
It's
like
that one, isn't it?
no.
Okay.
No.
I have his first appearance.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, it's that one. Got it. You gotta hide that one.
You want to know?
Yeah. Which one are you trying to snag?
Deadpool's first appearance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I picked that up right before the movie came out.
Yeah.
And then when it came out, that thing just skyrocketed in price.
Dang.
I timed it real good. I was like, ooh, this movie's coming out. And the collectors I bought from, they gave me a deal. Because there was two I was eyeballing. First appearance of Slade, Deathstroke.
Yeah.
And the first appearance of Deadpool. I was eyeballing both. And these guys, I always shop with them. Local dudes out of, I think, the Big Island. They're like, you want both? I'll give you these two for this much. I'm like, bet. And I bought both.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's gonna disappear if I were to go to Hawaii. Just getting your heads
I gotta
up.
get it graded actually. Like a lot of the
No, don't
rare
worry, I
stuff
got
I
you.
have.
I got you. Don't trip. I got you. Ship it over. I got you.
Wait, you've never found it at there's a very big collector store in Vegas that my friend goes to
Are you
all the
talking?
time.
Are you talking about the one that's owned by the dude from System of Down?
Yes, Torpedo.
Torpedo Comics.
Yeah. They don't have it.
No,
Wow, I'm shocked.
dude, they are like the only comic book store out here that's really consistent on like bringing in new stuff and like actually has like people going through it. There's a couple
Yeah,
small ones around that like are one of the top ones out here, but that one's like one of the top ones right now.
yeah. My friend goes there all the time.
hmm Like there was one over here by me, and I became a local to that dude, and like I was always popping in there looking for his like Deadpool stuff, and like when Bat Metal came through, he was started holding stuff for me, and then like I think I stopped going, and he closed down. I was like, no, like I was trying to support
Yeah,
you, because like
yeah.
every time I'd go in there, they'd be like nerds in the back table playing something, and I was always like the one that was like, nah, let me just get my stuff, get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, but what's going on with like comic books now? Like I see like a lot of YouTube videos of people like talking about all this like woke like all over the comic.
It's basically what in my circle of people. If y'all listening to this because of the topic and I piss you off, sorry, neckbeards. This is the honest opinion.
Leave my neckbeard alone.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, that's just the name of like the angry nerds that have to like.
Yeah.
The whole woke thing is because they're trying to be more inclusive, and because if you look back at the history of comic books, in the beginning, they were all white superheroes with white problems, and then they started introducing more characters of color. But when you look back at it, it was still very, I guess, exploitive. Like if you look back at the original Luke Cage, I mean, he spoke jive, he had the afro. You know what I'm saying? It's only later. So what they're trying to do now is just to make it more modern. So like Miss Marvel is Kamala Khan, who is a Muslim Pakistani kid or Palestinian, whatever. Um, and then basically what we would call like the old guard, like the OG readers are just like, it's too woke. Da, 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 da. Why does she have to be a girl? Da,
Yeah,
da,
but
da, da, da.
if you go too woke on it, like that's a big reason why a lot of comic books are struggling right now.
But I'm telling you right now, because I read a lot. It's not that woke. It really isn't. All they did was make her a girl, or
No,
it's
no,
not
that's
that
fine.
woke.
That's
Like,
fine. Like
yeah.
that's fine. I mean,
But the hardcore fandoms are so threatened by the change that they're attacking. I'm telling you right now, from the comic groups I'm in and the stores out here, this is just from what I see. Y'all, whoever's listening or anybody can disagree,
oh
but
no, man!
it's not that bad.
Like you had that one comic book where they had like Snowflake and Safe Space. Yeah, they had these characters. Like I think it was a Marvel comic. I'll have to look again.
It sounds like a Marvel thing.
Yeah,
It sounds like a Marvel
it
thing.
was like a character called Safe Space. One was called Snowflake or something like that. Like it was like I don't know. It was like a woke comic book, and like people were
But if that's actually the case, though, but a lot of people don't realize that that is for a specific audience. You
Yeah, I was about to
don't
say that.
have to pick that up.
Yeah,
you
you
know
don't
what I
have
mean?
to pick it up. They don't read it. The audience that they're catering to aren't into comic books. So my thing is that if it's your audience, like cater to your audience. If your reader,
Well,
it's just like
it's weird because I see people, believe it or not, I see people do buy those kind of strange ones that they consider woke, but from what I've been seeing, it's actually not as woke as everyone's assuming it is.
it's just
I'm telling you right now,
it's
it's not.
it's just like for me. And if people get pissed off about about this, I don't give a okay.
Oh yeah,
Like
same.
like Star Wars, you had your fans, and they were like,
Yep.
"You fans, we're gonna make on some other over here," and they ruined it. Mandalorian is bringing it back, but they're like, "Hey,
Yep.
every character that you loved, we're gonna on them." and we're gonna destroy any little bit of like uh, history or prestige about these characters whatsoever. So you did that in Star Wars. They can't sell toys now. They can't. I mean,
I see. For me with Star Wars, I have never really been bothered by anything they do in Star Wars. But the Star Wars thing, I always say is the same thing I say about comics, the same thing I say about specific video game fandoms, and it's kind of true. No one hates your fandom, aka like Star Wars, Marvel, Halo, World of Warcraft. No one hates your fandom more than the fans.
yeah.
Nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. Nobody hates
All,
Marvel more than Marvel
it's like,
fans.
okay, you had these
Yeah, maybe
beloved
not
you
Marvel.
had these beloved characters for like decades. And it's like, okay, let's take these beloved characters and totally destroy everything about them. And so let's bring in all these new characters you don't give a shit about. Like like Star Wars, they really jacked it up, man. I'm telling you, like, and that's what a lot of people are saying. Like, hey, the fans that are gonna go watch your movies like 2, 3, 4 times over, you're spitting in their face. I remember when I watched The Last Jedi, like like a friend of mine gave me tickets to go watch it with the kids. I go there and watch it. The only reason why I didn't get up and leave was because they were sitting there. But it was like the worst like piece of trash I ever saw. I was like,
Yeah,
how
like
good?
my yeah, that we're in two opposite spectrums because my side of my Star Wars friends and they're diehard to the point where my friend has multiple Star Wars tattoos covering his entire thigh. But he is on the opposite spectrum. He doesn't think the new ones are that bad. He doesn't think that the new ones are that bad.
Most
So it's like
people,
that's that weird.
yeah, most people that were fans, so they were trying to make those movies for people that didn't watch Star Wars movies. Most people that were fans of it, they didn't like the sequel to the Disney sequel trilogy. But I mean,
Not my crew.
they're enjoying
My crew loves
they're
it.
enjoying like Mandalorian now. Like,
Yeah, and my friend actually too. He's one of those diehard Star Wars fans where he read every single book, every single comic. The fact that he has the Death Star, Darth Maul, Boba Fett, Vader, and I think IG-88 tattooed on his thigh. So
okay,
like when I was hearing the hate coming,
it,
I was like, I wonder
does
what
he
he
does he
says.
have
And then
does
he's
he
just
have any
like,
of the new characters on him, like Kylo Ren?
no, but he actually considered it, from my understanding, or
Uh,
something like that. I don't know, but either he enjoyed them. He liked all of the movies. He actually did.
that's cool.
So like, I see what you're saying, but on the side that of the hardcores that I'm with, they don't see any problems.
That's
As weird as it sounds, like I said, no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. Nobody loves Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
yeah.
Same
Well,
thing with comic books. Nobody hates Marvel more than Marvel fans.
yeah.
Nobody hates DC
I,
or nobody hates Batman more than Batman fans.
I think you're wrong on that one. I think DC fans hate Marvel more than, than they do anything.
Actually, well, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
war.
Well,
But like, just if you stick with the fans, you're always gonna have like it sucks, but you love it.
yeah. Well,
You know what I mean?
that was just I was just wondering about that when it came to the comic books because I wasn't like super huge. I like comics, but I wasn't super huge into it, and I was just wondering like like what your take was on it because
It's not as woke as everyone's barking at, in my honest opinion. Because I'm part of probably one of the most toxic. I don't know why I'm still part of this Facebook group. I am in this toxic comic Facebook group.
yeah.
I mean, like, I see the most racist on there, but I can't leave because I get a kick out of watching these idiots argue.
When is Black
Like,
Panther going to be white?
but like, and it's just crazy. It's like probably one of the most toxic Facebook groups I've ever been a part of. But I can't seem to stop reading the comments. It's really not as bad as the fans are saying, and I have fans in all different, or like the people that I talk to in the comic places here too, and a lot of them travel to like the mainland conventions.
Mhm.
It's really not that bad. as much as the internet is saying it is. I'm telling you, right? It's not that bad.
Okay.
It's really, really not. Because I've seen like also because I'm friends with the people who own the places. They'll tell you what's selling and what kind of drama's kicking off in the comic book world.
Yeah.
It's really
Okay.
it's really not that bad. It's the this is just me. It's that old guard that's there that with the Star Wars thing, the beloved characters and they're
The,
tossing it.
but is it the old guard that's buying all the comics? Because I mean, comic books, they're suffering now. Like they're suffering. That's what I'm
They
saying. Like if these are your customers, cater to your customers. Like if it's the old guard,
from what I see, those guys are still buying
Yeah.
comics because when I walk into my store and I see the subscription boxes, like I'll pick like my subscription box is pretty thick, but the same guys complaining are buying hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars of what's still being printed.
yeah.
Yep.
But they will buy it,
Yeah.
read it, and then go right onto the forums. What fucking look at this page right here. I'm like, why'd you buy it then? Why'd you buy it then?
And you
If you're gonna do that, toe the line. Don't stand there.
Well, I mean that's
You know
how
what
it
I
was
mean?
like when it came to the last Star Wars movie. I didn't watch it because I was done.
I did.
I was
I did.
I was like you messed it up there. Like Luke Skywalker, you made him a bum. Like Admiral Akbar just got a throwaway line. This dude like they didn't even show him on screen. They were just like, yeah, everybody died. So and so Admiral Akbar. I was like, what? How you gonna kill the man like that? I was in Disney World riding one of the Star Wars rides, like maybe 2 years ago with my kids, but might have been a year ago with my kids.
A year ago.
And Admiral Akbar comes on the screen as you're riding this like motion ride or whatever. Everybody in there, they were like, "Aww," because they loved him, and they just killed him, and he got a throwaway line. That was it. It was BS. Couldn't believe it. But yeah, no, I got you. I understand.
It's that weird thing though. Again, it's almost the same. This argument can go on for years.
Yeah.
Years.
And
But
it's
the funny thing is too, with this on both sides, comics and Star Wars, they don't give a about us. They're making money.
Until they're not, because Star Wars lost a ton on the toys, on those movies.
They're gonna be fine.
Disney's hurt.
They're gonna be
Disney's
fine.
hurting. Disney's hurting.
Not from what I know.
Yeah,
they're doing just
Yeah,
fine.
with them furloughing like a ton of people. Like, trust me, Disney is hurting.
I will respectfully disagree from what I know. From what I know,
look at their stock prices. Look at their
From
operating. So yeah, they have their entertainment and stuff that they put out, but their parks are suffering. Like they have
I still think Disney's going to be
They have a
fine from what I've been seeing in the.
they have a huge infrastructure. Like Disney takes up like 3 counties down in Florida, and they're furloughing like thousands upon thousands of workers. So
I think they're going to be
I
fine.
don't know.
That's just me.
I don't
though.
know.
I think they're going to be
I don't
just
know.
fine.
They could be like and not because of like mistakes that they made, but just because of the virus that's out there too. Like
Oh
the
yeah,
industry as a whole is taking a huge hit, big time. It's sad. It's sad, but I don't know.
They're recovering though. The movie industry is definitely recovering real quick.
It could be It could be recovering, but people gotta. I mean, it's changing a lot. Like the theaters, like
they're definitely recovering from what I know. I can't speak on it too much because you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
they
are they are recovering. It's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's hard.
Yeah. No, I mean,
from what I know,
they have their institutions there, so yeah, they're gonna recover in some way or another. But yeah, they're
gonna recover faster than a lot of people though.
Well, yeah,
they're gonna recover so quick.
There's a lot of people that are hurting. So yeah,
Yeah,
you say that
they're just gonna be like, we're hurting too, and then they're gonna be like, we're good.
Yeah.
That's literally what's gonna happen. They're gonna be like, we are hurting. 2 months later, we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
we're good.
no.
We're good.
No,
You know what they
That's the
felt
sad
though?
part.
What Disney really felt though was that Mulan, like that nobody
Okay,
watched.
Mulan
That.
was f***ed up. Mulan was kind of.
They dropped
Mulan
the
was.
ball on that one, and
did.
everybody noticed that.
Yeah, no, that one was rough. I will admit on that one. And the only reason I'm a little more lenient when it comes to like critiquing a movie is because my fiance is a producer, and she tells me the ins and outs and how hard it is to make a movie. But when she says that movie's got problems, and I notice it without asking about like, yo, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like that movie was rough. Rough.
Well, yeah, big time. I mean, they were expecting it to do certain numbers in China, and it did not because they didn't like it there. Like, so yeah,
it was rough.
All I'm saying,
it's rough.
Mandalorian,
that movie was busted.
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian's gonna save them.
Yeah,
Mandalorian's the only thing that's worth watching in that Disney Plus app. If you
that
if
baby
you've already
Yoda, that baby Yoda,
like if you've already gone through your nostalgic phase and watched all the old stuff that you wanted to watch in Disney Plus and like got your fix from there, the only reason you're going back to Disney Plus is for Mandalorian. That's the only reason you're going back.
I haven't watched anything.
Actually, I have Disney Plus for everything but Mandalorian. Believe it or not.
Yeah, but when's the last time you went to that app?
Huh?
When's the last time you went to that app though?
A couple days ago.
What do you watch? What do you watch?
I've been going through. I've been watching all the Marvel stuff and everything in between. I watched the first episode of Mandalorian, and both me and my fiance were kind of like, trigger warning, everybody. I think the Mandalorian's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody has their opinion. Yeah. Your opinion sucks, but
being okay, but being okay is way better than just being garbage like those movies were. So like that's the difference.
Okay, I must say,
to be fair, hold on. To be fair, I'm with you that it's okay. It's like I thought it was overhyped.
I like it.
Unpopular opinion?
No, it's good, man. No,
I enjoyed the Star Wars movies. First episode of Mandalorian, it was a struggle to get through. And my fiance is diehard Star Wars. And when I mean diehard Star Wars, I won't tell the story. It's an embarrassing story for her, but she's very she's tied to these characters. She's diehard Star Wars. But even she sees shows and movies differently. You know what I mean? Once you know how to make a movie,
she's professional.
Yeah. So she struggles with Mandalorian a little bit too. Me, I struggle with it a little bit. I'm gonna get back into it, but unpopular opinion, it's all right.
I'm with you on that.
No, it's cool.
I'm with you on that.
That's cool. All right, let's get to this.
Overhyped.
Let's get to this last.
Overhyped.
Let's get to this last. This last recording here, because we were going on and on about like comic books and Star Wars and all like that can go on forever.
Yeah, like I said, that argument will not argue. A debate will go on forever.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Oh, real quick disclaimer. Hey, everybody watching, you saw how we were able to disagree and not want to kill each other? Start trying to learn how to do that.
For real.
Oh, wait. After this one, I'll give you something you want to kill me about. I'll give you about.
Just really crap all over that little display. Look how respectful we are. No, I'm about to ruin this man's life.
Oh, you think we okay right now? Just give me a bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rock. Go ahead.
All right, so let's get this next one going here. Let's hear what this is about.
On subreddit relationship advice. My significant other, a 31-year-old female, is well off. She is constantly buying expensive gifts for me, a 25-year-old male, even when I ask her not to. For Christmas, she wants to pay off my student loans as her Christmas present. However, we have only been dating for barely a year. I have been dating a girl who let's call Trish for less than a year. We met at my friend's New Year's party. I will be honest, I was not really looking for a long-term relationship at first, as I had just gotten out of one. However, those thoughts rapidly disappeared. She is gorgeous, smart, and a dork like myself. The fact that she gets genuinely happy to see me means a lot. We have similar hobbies and both work in tech. She very much has a dominant personality that makes it very hard for me to refuse her. But she isn't abusive or anything like that. There is also a fairly big age gap, but I really like her. Trish is well off. She was one of the first employees at a tech company that ended up being bought out by a larger one. I don't really know how wealthy she is, but I honestly don't care. While she does oftentimes spend a lot of money, several times she has told me money isn't an issue for her. She has also very much told me that she knows what she is doing regarding money. Monday was my birthday. She probably spent somewhere over $1,000 on gifts for me. The thing is, they were all the things at one point I made a comment about it or something. She bought me a watch that I vaguely remember looking at back in February. I said it was a nice watch. So there's that there. I tried to get her to return the stuff, saying this is way too much, but she 100% refused. For her birthday back in July, I made her favorite food and seems genuinely happy with this, and specifically forbade me from spending money on her. On the other hand, I am poor. I got a master's in a useless subject and currently work as an entry-level
Rats.
software developer. I have a ton of debt, and frankly, my finances were a mess. She knows how much of a mess they were because she sat down with me one day and basically untangled the mess and taught me proper budgeting, investing, etc. Last night we were talking about Christmas and what our plans are. Eventually it came to gifts, where I basically begged her not to spend anything on me forever and that I cannot get her anything on the same level of what she bought me. She made it a big deal and told me she didn't want anything like that, and she wanted her gift to be spending Christmas with me. Trish, on the other hand, said that her gift for me is she is going to pay off all of my debt, so I can stop worrying about it.
Let's
I
go.
really thought she was joking, but she is completely serious. Personally, I said sure because that is pretty awesome. I feel this is insane, and I genuinely don't understand. We have been dating less than a year. Everyone I have talked to has either said she is joking or lying, but I know she isn't, which makes me all the more confused. I am looking for advice. I really just don't know how to respond or handle this type of thing at all. I do genuinely really love spending time with her, and if she never paid a cent, she is still easily the best person I have ever dated. Can someone help me, please?
Wow. Wow.
Why is it another rich person
I know.
problem
I know.
story? we got?
I know. Right? But this one here is a
Did
little.
we just cover this already?
Wait, no, you said that wrong. How's that a problem?
Yo, I think he like shoot. I think he's embracing that gigolo role, little well. 'Cause he's like he accepted.
He said that there's an age gap, right? He said there's an age gap,
There's an
right?
age gap.
Even if it's like 10 years, bro, it's fine. If you enjoy being with her and she's doing this, hey man, take it.
Maybe so, but if she's spending that money, I don't know. That could be like she could be. I don't know. She could be a
Nah,
control freak.
I feel you. I'll be real. I'd feel like a bitch too. I won't like because that's what he's talking about. That's what he's
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Like me personally, if I go out with a female, you're not buying food. You're not spending money at all. At all.
Yeah, that's just like, oh wow, that's more like a boomer there. It's more boomer
I
esque.
got a little. I, well, Zoomer, Boomer, it's just BZ. You switch it, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no. Like, no, I understand. I understand what you're saying. My whole thing is that man, student loan, like that's a big thing.
You better.
That's a big thing. Now, is he going to still feel the same way? Because she's older. I think she's like what he's like in his 20s, and she's like 31. Is that what she said?
He said, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. Are they still going to be, lined up when he's like mid 30s and she's early 40s? Like that's
I would have to say my thing would be. I would say besides that, how like of course you want to see how serious everything is, because imagine if it's like kind of rocky, that could easily be ammunition for a fight.
it could be, or
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, you remember when I paid off your loans? What you?
I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah,
That's your choice.
I'm out.
It's your
Yeah.
choice.
but you know what I
Yeah.
mean though. Like, of course you could say that, but then it'll just go back and forth. You know what I mean? I feel like that's like, depending on the relationship, they could easily use anything they do to each other nice as ammunition. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I
That sounds
would
very toxic.
that I would feel really weird if like somebody was getting me stuff like that. I'm like, no, mm-mm.
Especially a female. I really don't like it when females get me stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really don't like it when females spend money on me. At all.
I don't know. It's just one of those. Don't get mad. gender roles. Like, I mean, it just, I don't know. Like it, I can see why he feels weird, but it's like, what would he have to be obligated to do if she pays those? Like, is she looking for him to be like, all right, we're getting married now, or what? Like,
You gotta eat the booty like groceries for them student loans.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah, it falls into the same category as, using that as ammunition. Like, if that's the case of, what does he have to do now? If he says no, then guess what? She has cocked and ready to go. Guess what I paid for?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah.
Still falls into that category. It can easily, if he's not able to talk to her about it, like, they seriously need to talk about it. They have
yeah.
to. Because if they don't,
Yo,
that the conversation we're having about what could happen is gonna happen. Someone's gonna use that as ammunition.
y-
Someone's gonna expect something. They need to talk that shit out
yo,
quick.
yo, but like, come on now. He's the one that up. This guy must not be too bright because, for one, he took out a bunch of student loans on a useless degree.
On rats.
I, that's problem number one. Two, I mean, that's cool that she helped him organize and, like, learn how to budget and learn how to invest and all that stuff. Like, that's cool that she did that. Like, but I don't know, man.
I think better play for him would be like, yo, how about we do something together financially? That way, you're helping me grow money, and we'll both benefit from this. You feel me?
Yeah,
Rather than, hey, spend money here. Like, hey, how about you show me how, where should we invest, or how about we create like a mutual fund or something like that. That way, he doesn't feel like, oh, I'm just taking money from her.
now,
It sounds like they need a damn counselor.
I mean, okay, let's say, okay, yeah, she makes more money than him. That, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. If he's contributing, that shouldn't be a big deal. But I mean, like, if she's going to be making that big investment in him like that to pay off his student loans, she's going to be expecting him to make some sort of, like, more of a commitment. I mean, it just goes hand in hand. You're not just going to do that for free. I mean, there's going to be some sort of commitment that she's going to require, and
I feel like she just intended to have like a sugar baby, and her be his sugar mama. And he just didn't take it that way, and he just started a relationship instead. Because if like no relationship, you're really gonna jump into that, they're gonna be paying for everything for you, and then you're not gonna be doing anything back. That's not how a relationship works. You're not gonna buy me stuff, and then me contributing back to you would be just but making you food.
yeah, it's like,
Doesn't
I don't know.
That's
She
not
straight up,
not the move.
she straight up Captain Saberhoed him, because, like,
Lucky, I got a car payment she could pay off.
That's a tricky one. Without knowing them, there's
Well,
so many variables that
there
could be
is,
popped up
yeah,
in
there
there.
is,
because he also said that she was dominant. She's very dominant, right? Because she's
yeah,
older, right? She knows what she wants. She's gonna say it straight up. Hey, I'm gonna pay your stuff. Don't worry about it. And it's kind of like as a man that you're struggling, or imagine he's struggling because he said he's broke. You're gonna be like, okay, I
maybe,
guess. Like,
I mean, maybe he's just beta like that. Maybe he's like that. Maybe that's just,
oh, he's beta.
yeah. Maybe he's beta.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Just because there's so many variables that could be popped up that we don't know.
Listen, man. If this ever gets back to you, just let her pay it off. I've bought things for exes before. Let her make that mistake as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
That's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
it's a tricky one. All I'm saying is that if she's gonna do something big like that, she's gonna be expecting some sort of commitment, and I think that's why he's like, help. I don't feel comfortable because maybe he's not ready to to commit
Yeah, but
that way.
well, then again, it doesn't sound like he has the balls to be like, "Yo, you do this, but I'm not. We're not getting committed. This doesn't mean nothing to me. You're just doing me a favor, pretty much." Instead of just being like, you know, if I can't afford to pay off these student loans, I can't afford the ring. Just giving you a heads up.
That's an honest thing. That's probably the most adult thing he could have done is be like, "Yo, I'm not asking you to do this. If you do this, don't expect X, Y, and Z."
or
That's probably the most adult thing
or
he
he
could have
could
done.
just say no.
True.
He could just say no.
Also true.
He's like, nope, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, you got me all this nice stuff. I appreciate it. And maybe even, maybe he is willing to, like, commit completely. But like,
Yeah.
if he feels
There's so many exits on this freeway right now.
yeah, I know. Just like, no, I'm sorry. But he said yes, so
Yeah, that's
he was like,
that sounds like a TV show we're about to watch, man. When's the first season of this on Netflix? This is
I
about
know,
to get
right?
real.
I know, right?
Next time, what will he do?
That's a hard one, man. There's so many things that could happen.
Yeah.
So many.
I feel like it's just him not knowing what he just got himself into, right? Because like you jump into a relationship, you're not sure what that other person's like. Granted, he said that she's nice and she's gorgeous and this and that and talked her up, but like he didn't know that she came with X amount of money. He didn't know that she's generous like that and like she cares about him this much that she's just like, here, take this. You should be here's this and here's that. So hey, player, if she says she wants to and you're okay with it happening like that and you think there's a future with it, go for it.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, man. That's a
That's a
tricky
tricky
one.
one.
Just
There's so many different things that could happen.
just get ready to eat
So
the
many.
booty like groceries,
Man, that's scary. There's just so many possible outcomes. That's definitely not a straight line at all.
Yeah.
No.
There's no straight line. That is all gray area. That is all gray area. There's no clear cut on that at all.
I don't know, but if he feels uncomfortable with it, nope. That's just
Simple as that.
yeah.
Or get a professional counselor instead of asking the internet.
What better counselor is there?
Make her pay for it. Make her pay for it.
Hey, if they really want it to work, that might be something you want to bring up. All right, you pay for my student loans, but we're arguing. Why will you pay for counseling?
I don't feel like it's arguments either because I'm pretty sure it's just like, hey, I don't feel
Yeah.
comfortable, and she's just like,
Yeah.
ha ha ha, here's his Rolex, and he's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know how much pushback he's given, like on that.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he's giving that.
No, I don't need this. And then like,
Oh my god, this brand new Ferrari. Oh no, driving away.
That's
in
a tricky
Ferrari.
one. That's such a tricky one. Such a tricky one. That can go on. That can go on for hours.
Yeah,
You ask the right people, that conversation can
yeah,
go
it
on
can go
for
on for hours.
we are the right people. What do you
days.
mean? But we just don't have that much time.
Yeah, yeah, we don't have that much time. Yeah, but so
Yeah.
Also, give it enough time. We're gonna say something that's gonna piss somebody off.
What I'm about to say right now. Ha ha.
all right.
Is good
Joke
time.
All right, with that, we could turn it over to you,
Let's-
Capo. What you got
All right.
for us?
So this involves music,
Okay.
Ooh.
and we're all hip hop heads here. We all know a lot about hip hop. We all have done our homework. We all students
Definitely.
of hip hop.
Yeah.
And we were kind of just discussing stuff right now about music that I was playing that while we were getting ready for pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always had this discussion. I've heard this discussion and I kind of lean against it. I lean away from it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because certain stuff that doesn't make it right in my head, right? So, here's the thing. Trigger warning, everybody that's a hip hop head right now. Trigger warning. I don't think Eazy E should be titled one of the greats.
I can see that. I can. In all respect, I can see it and I can also disagree with it. I can see it on both ends. I can literally see it on two ends. For me, the reason why he's not considered a great is because you can easily say, his wordplay is kind of all right, this and that. But at the exact same time, he is a great because of the subject matter he was covering. Also, another reason you can consider him a great, he never was a rapper. They had to teach him how to rap. They actually had to make him say one bar, pause the tape, and then he learned how, and then he became. So I can see it on both ends.
Yeah.
Definitely can see it on both.
Yeah.
ends.
So well, I want to hear your rationale before I weigh in on it.
Well, okay. So that first part, right, that he said he wasn't a rapper.
Nah.
And where I always hear Eazy E being compared to is next to Biggie and Pac.
Okay.
They're always when I hear that discussion, right? The greats, it's always Biggie, Pac, Easy E, whoever else you want to
So
throw into that category of the great.
so when you look at like Easy, yeah, like you say, he wasn't a rapper, but he was a hustler, and this man built an empire, and
Yep.
and his legacy is felt like far and wide in hip hop, like
Yeah.
it more than anything you could say before. Like before all those others from NWA, like Easy E was like the star, and more
Yep.
than that, like he Bone Thugs and Harmony came from the like his like
His resume
he
was
started
huge.
an empire. So like
Yeah.
in like hip hop, like there's a lot of stories of people that talent might not match, some of the greats that are out there with minds that can,
Mm,
come with lyrics just like that. But like as a cornerstone, as a foundation in hip hop, like a lot has grown because of his
yeah.
influence. A lot has
Yeah.
happened because of that. And so like,
And
I
yeah,
where
and because of that mentality, I would throw him in the same category as like a Kanye West. He didn't write all of his music. He wasn't always the best. And he's a philanthropist and he's an entrepreneur. I would throw him in that same category, but I would not throw him in the same category as Pac and Biggie and Cube.
well, without Easy E, a lot of that stuff wouldn't happen. Like it like he is one of the people that made hip hop as popular, as it is today. I mean, there's no
Yeah,
there's no like so it like as being like one of the greats. Like when you look at Kanye West, like Kanye West was producing music, for some of the biggest rappers long before he became really big rapping. But I mean, for him, this is when hip hop was like, it had been around, but he's one of the reasons how it got launched into the mainstream, how it was carried over, and they broke down barriers in the music industry for blacks, like
yeah,
that. When it came to contracts, when it came to all these different things, they were trailblazers. So I mean, where you have Pac, like, which is one of my favorite rappers of all time, like where his lyrics were straight poetry. Like
yes,
there's college courses like around the poetry that he
hmm
made in his music. So where his music wasn't like super like in depth, and the foresight wasn't there, like tons of his music, almost all of his like early stuff, people can spit off today, and it was fun. It was rap in its
yep.
infancy. He
hmm
was part of the foundation. I can't see how you couldn't see him as one of the greats. Like, I mean, he's
I can see both. The only reason I can see both is because, like we said in a few other episodes, I fall in the middle of between both the Zoomer and Boomer in ages. I caught both ends of the spectrum, but also I am a very, very big hip hop person where I will listen to everything and anything at least once and then decipher. I can see how he isn't, and I can see
but
how he
but the
is.
thing
Now,
is
for
that
me,
like coming from the street grassroots, like I was a little kid then. I was a
yeah,
little kid when Easy E was rapping, NWA was rapping, like all the West Coast thing, that all that how that all took off.
yeah,
I was a little kid, and for the
yeah,
way that black artists were like not represented, and how they went against all the odds to get their music out, and it became that popular by grassroots word of mouth. Like they're like, I mean,
Yeah,
it at the
yeah,
time, like you couldn't see it. I remember hearing all that music when I was a little kid, and like it was so
yeah,
popular. You hear it in the streets, like my neighbor was playing it. Like, so no, that was before internet. That was before the internet was
yeah.
like a thing. So
I would still say that for me, I can see both. I'm pretty neutral with Easy. I know his music. I've heard his music. I can see both ends just because I've done a lot of research on hip hop and like looking at. I've watched documentaries and just read about it. I can see why people say he isn't, and I can see why people say he is. I can see why they say he is because what he's done and everything. Sorry,
all
anyway,
good.
I can see how he isn't. I can see how he is. I can see how he is because of the barriers he broke down, the subject matter he was covering. Um, this everything that
that was
Rock
really
just
important.
said. Yeah, everything that Rock just said, I can see. But on the flip, I can also see it isn't, because there are, if you were predominantly on the East Coast, and even some West Coast legends like Cube or Ice T and a few others during this doc that I was watching, Easy wasn't the first gangster rapper.
Yeah.
Everyone in the entire one accredited his name was Schoolie D. He was one of the first gangster rappers. But now, hardcore East Coast listeners will say Schoolie D is the legend, Eazy E's the biter, or whatever, vice versa. You can say however you want. And then at the same time, but Eazy E's the one that broke through the barrier.
Yep.
Schoolie D was underground.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So me, I'm pretty neutral. I never really have an opinion, but I'm just being the devil's advocate on it. I can see both just through my knowledge of how people see him. He can easily, but from when you really dig deep and think about it, he leans more toward the legend side. Now you can flip back and forth, like I said,
Yeah.
but in
Well,
evidence wise,
My-
he leans to the greats.
my thing is that, like, when you look at it, none of that stuff is original. Like, none of it's original. I
Yeah.
mean, the sampling of the music that they would get,
Mhm.
none of that stuff is new under the sun. So, like,
Yeah.
their influences from music that was long ago, like, I mean, it's just it's all inspiration.
Yeah.
At the same time,
Yep.
like, yeah, he wasn't the first gangster rapper by any means. No, there's others
Nah.
along, there's many others.
Yeah.
So
But breaking through, that's what's really big, So
Yep.
I mean, it's
Yep.
so on your list of hip hop, who's higher, Dre or Eazy?
Ooh.
who's higher, Dre or Eazy E?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say, because I think about it from the creation of their music, I would have to say Dre by just a smidge, because he helped Eazy-E become Eazy-E. He had to teach him how to rap. He was that cornerstone. After he got it, Eazy took the fuck off. He left his ass in the dust.
Well,
But I would have to say Dre just by a smidge, just because he helped create what he was in the beginning.
I would say Eazy E, because, like, I mean,
Yeah, but without no
Dre,
Dre, there's no Eazy.
was that?
Without no
No,
Dre, there's no Eazy.
without no Dre, there's no Eazy. Without no Eazy E, there's no Dre. Like, he was what? He was a DJ.
Oh yeah, either.
He was a
he's-
DJ.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a.
yeah.
I mean, he rapped some, but he
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
like a rapper. I mean,
No, he was a
Yeah.
producer.
yeah.
Producer.
I mean, he rapped
Yeah.
a little bit.
He helped create the sound.
Like, all
for
of them
sure.
together had their pieces. All of them together.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Oh,
put
yeah.
stuff in there.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
like, I don't know. Like Dre became way bigger in the '90s than Eazy-E did. But, like, at first, Eazy-E was like, he was
The man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. That can go either way. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
But I see it on both
That's-
spectrums.
I mean, if you
know what I mean?
didn't have, I mean, all of them that contributed, they all contributed in a way, So
Yeah.
they came around at the right time, and
Mm-hmm.
the right people, right time, and they made that happen. And the influence from their influence is, like, far and wide. I don't know. That's a real hard one too. Like, I mean, I like
That's a
both.
tough one.
I
Yeah.
like both of them big time. But
Gotcha.
I just lean a little to Dre just because that's just me. But it's so small. It's small. They
I-
easily on the same
I
page.
think I play more Eazy than I do Dre, though. I will say that.
yeah, Eazy-E's music was
Yeah.
fun. Like I said, like, Eazy-E's music was
Eazy does it.
fun. Eazy does it.
Yeah, Eazy does it.
Now, like,
All
Dre
that
came
stuff.
through, like, Dre's album, he came through, like, they capitalized, like, right at the perfect time, like,
Yeah.
with the whole gangster rap thing, like that, when he had his album, and then, like, Snoop's album came out, and then you had, like, the dog.
I do have to say though, as much as I've listened to Dre's album, the Chronic and all that, when I really think about it, the only reason I listened to those albums was because of Snoop, to be honest.
Snoop, man, Snoop was the star. Like, I love Snoop on
Yeah.
like, the Chronic and stuff.
The only reason I listened to the Chronic was to hear Snoop, because the first song I heard, was Snoop was on it, and I was like, "Yo, who's this? Oh, it's on this album." I'm being honest. The only reason I listened to the Chronic because I was chasing after Snoop
And so
sounds.
like
You know what I mean?
like he was beefing with Eazy E at the time or whatever.
Yeah.
But Eazy,
Oh, real motherfucking
yeah,
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Classic. That song went
Yeah.
hard,
Yeah.
yeah, he was clouding.
dude.
He was clouding, talking about he was wearing lipstick and stuff like that. Like, yeah, like
Yeah. Also another thing, a lot of people forget that also introduced BG Knockout and his brother, and they were fire.
Mhm.
Oh my god, BG's verse on Real Motherfucking G's was so good. Well,
yeah,
when you hear that, well, I was like, oh, it's BG.
yeah, yeah,
It's
man.
the original baby gangster, Lunkster. I was like, yo, who is this? I was like, oh, it's BG Gangster? Who's
Yeah.
BG Knockout? Who is this?
Nope.
Yeah,
That's my favorite. Like, out of that song of the Real G's,
yeah.
my favorite verse was BG Knockout. BG Knockout, the best.
Out of all the beef songs, like that was my favorite one. Like, but back in the '90s though, like Dre got way more play than that. But like
Yeah,
Easy's like his beef song. Like, dude, man, he. I think,
that was a
yeah,
classic.
I think he killed him on that.
Is
Yeah.
it better than No Vaseline though?
Talking about no Vaseline.
Ooh,
Is it
No
better?
Vaseline
Yo,
was.
Is it better than No Vaseline though?
Man, but so Ice Cube was like known for his lyrics, so that's what.
Oh no, Cube was the rapper of the group.
Yeah.
He had bars for days.
Yeah.
That was the one dude you didn't want to mess
Now he's
with in
making
that
like
crew.
family.
Granted,
Now
you
he's
don't
making like family movies and.
like you didn't want to mess with Cube on a track. Like that's the one dude you avoided musically and probably in the street too.
Oh yeah.
But Easy was the one you didn't want to mess with on both ends because he'll
Yeah.
probably kill you.
Yeah.
No, like I don't know, like it, like I liked all that music. I liked all of them, like back in the day. Like I was more.
I can see both ends.
I was more West Coast. There's people from the East I liked a lot, but like I was more West Coast with the music I liked.
I would say when I started listening to West Coast because I was being introduced to it by my friends and then with Rock when we were hanging out almost 24/7. And then when I got really like where I am now, where I love hip hop to death, I started listening to everything. Like I got to the point where I can distinguish rappers where they're from by how they're spitting. Like I've gotten to that where I'm like, that's a dirty South, that's Midwest, that's East, that's underground.
Yo, so somewhat like and like there's a lot of people that don't like the new music that's out now. Like I there's a lot of it I like. Some of this is hilarious.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is funny as hell.
Dude, there was one song where this dude, he was like, I'll have to send you probably heard it, but like dude was like, it's like, what's up, Ree? What's up, Key? What's up, Lisa? I want all three. Ashley. Ashley. I get hard when she walk past me. Dude, when I heard that, I was driving. I lost it. I was like, you are stupid. Like,
And they're banking because of the stupid TikTok videos people are making.
yeah, man.
Yo, speaking of which, totally gonna shift it. It's not even a shift. It's still in the same category as far as music. I watched yesterday. I recommend anyone to watch it. The 6ix9ine documentary on Hulu.
I'm not watching that.
No, bro.
What's that?
No,
Tekashi 6ix9ine?
I'm-
Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
that I'm telling you right now. When I watched it,
Yeah.
because they showed some of the earliest footage of him, and there's two things that came into my mind that I talk about with my friends. Because the way he did it, is he just a complete idiot, or is he a marketing genius? Because they showed
Marketing.
the evolution. It's just like, yo, he had the internet mapped out. It was crazy because they were showing some of the stuff I've never even seen that they pulled through like archive footage. Like when he first started, I was like, wow, this kid is stupid. But then they started interviewing the producer of his first hit, the first person that dyed his hair, and they're just like, you can easily say he's an idiot because he kind of is, but is he though? Because they showed the growth within that small amount of time. I'm telling you, it's fascinating.
Yo.
He's still a retard, but it's
He sung
fascinating.
like a canary.
Yeah,
That's the
he
thing. Yeah.
he did.
Yo, but
Doc covers all the way up to. They even had videos and the audio transcripts from the courts,
yeah.
but
Well,
it
hold
was
up.
so
Hold up
fascinating.
now. Like those dudes were going to kill him. Okay, like
Oh yeah, they were. They were. They were.
Because he was a boy. He was a boy trying to mess in thug life. He was not part of the thug life. He was just a
Yeah.
boy.
no, but
Yo,
Leave him alone.
if they
Yo,
played it
like-
smart, they could have made so much money. But no, they couldn't give up all that ratchet. And like it's just like, yeah, man, I'm telling you.
it was crazy because they were taught like say what like that documentary was so interesting because like I can't wait. I just want to see him. I just want to see him panic. I want to see him snitch. And then I'm watching. I'm like, damn, that kind of smart.
Yeah.
Like, yo, how quickly he grew in the way he did it. Then you got to the point where he peaked, and then he started screwing up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it was crazy. It was
Okay,
crazy.
so are you of the school of thought? Okay, so like all the people in hip hop was like, no, once you snitch, it's over. We don't with snitches. So
Yeah.
That doesn't apply to him though.
So, well, I know it doesn't apply to him because I mean, like the new people that listen to hip hop, they do not give a about that. But my
No, they
thing
don't.
is that like, what do you think about him? Like, pretty much dropping it like on that whole crew. He dimed all of them out. What do you think about that?
I thought that was 100% fucked up because, again, you're in a world that has rules. Regardless,
Were they following
you know?
the rules? Were they following that? I don't know, man. I don't know. They
What they were doing was following the rules.
they were going to kill him. Like,
Yeah.
that was before.
The only reason I see it as it is fucked up because, granted, if you're in that situation, you'll probably do it. But I'm just looking at it as like in a whole. It's kind of like you kind of knew what you were signing up for. That's kind of stupid because now your entire life is ruined. Your whole family has to go into hiding. Did you really think that through?
No,
That's how I see it. Not
free,
necessarily.
He's free though. He would have gone away forever.
He actually would have gotten enough years to come out of prison at the age 69.
That'd have been great. That'd have been great. I would have just stuck in the plate like, you know what?
They were going to give him 70 something years. At the end of the court, his birthday kicked in, and someone reported that they did the math. They're like, he was going to come out at 69 years old. That is 100% true. He got like 72 or 73 years at whatever age he was during the court. When he got out, he would have been 69.
Yo, like I was like watching some of their like some of the documentaries of their like of that whole crew, some of the big homies or whatever. Like one of them got shot by his cousin because he was like saying, "Hey, like look, we could go straight with this kid here. Like we got something that's valuable. Let's stop all this crazy, like all this and let's do things right, and we can make a lot of money." And like his cousin like came and like shot him in his head, and then he walked to like the hospital or something like that. Like they could have done it. They could have done it right, but like yeah, man, I think the FBI like picked 6ix9ine up, and it was a good thing because they were getting ready to roll on him.
You know, speaking of FBI, in the documentary, the FBI actually had an informant before Tekashi started snitching, and they interviewed the informant was his driver, and in the doc, they interviewed the driver and was like, and he says, I think he was either Mexican or Salvadorian or something. He had a heavy accent. He was like, he got picked up by ICE, and they locked him up at the ICE center in New York for 40 days, and then they came up to him and was like, rat out 6ix9ine and this crew, we'll let you go. He said, okay. And then he literally looked at the camera and said, I signed the papers as soon as I said it. Yo, that documentary was wild.
I'll check it out.
I'd rather go watch Rocket Man. I'm cool on that.
Yo. I gotta watch Rocket Man. Yo,
I gotta go learn about Elton John than that. I'm cool.
Dude, it was a wild doc. It was a wild doc.
So this weekend, this is a little bit off topic, but this weekend, like we were talking about it last week, this weekend, Mike Tyson's fighting Roy Jones Jr. So are you gonna watch the fight? You gonna check it out?
I don't know. I want to, but at the same time, it could also be a show.
I don't know, man. You got like these two like gladiators. And they're talking about Tyson is in like killer shape.
Yeah, then they dropped Roy Jones training, and he looks just as good. But there's a part of me that's skeptical. I don't know why.
I'm with you.
My gut's kind of like, do I want to drop the money? If my boys out here are gonna watch it, and I'll chip in. But me buying it by myself, I don't know.
I'm watching.
I do the same thing as Vampiro. I'm gonna show up somewhere with beer and be like, "Yeah, I'm here too."
Yeah. But also, like, I don't make that much money. I have to contemplate buying anything pay per view. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
So that's why I'm like, do I really like? Is this something that I want to fork money on right now? As much as I want to watch it,
I want to see because, like, okay, Roy Jones, he didn't fight his last fight wasn't that long ago, but I think Tyson's last fight was like in 2005. So, like,
yeah, it was like a celebrity boxing thing. Well, besides the celebrity boxing thing, his last real fight wasn't like till 2005 or 6.
Yeah.
Because he did the whole celebrity sparring thing where he kind of like beat up people with headgear on. You know what I mean?
But
as you do.
Yeah. But Roy Jones, he's been fighting. I think he had like a fight like.
No, he hasn't stopped fighting.
Yeah,
he's been fighting.
He keeps
continuously.
He's been training. Yeah, he's been training new guys and stuff. So he's getting that workout in.
Yeah, because he was out of the two fighters. He was the last one that was on Joe Rogan's podcast. He said, "Yeah, I'm still training, training fighters and fighting. He has not stopped."
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
All right. Who we got?
Ooh, man, I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's so close. That's
come on.
I'll
Gut feeling. Go say it.
I'll have to say Tyson.
Yeah, out of the styles, Tyson, just because him being a pocket fighter, pocket fighters are just scary in general. If you can't keep him out, you're screwed.
And it's hard because I love both of them. It's hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Roy Jones Jr. had probably one of the nastiest hooks in the game at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He boxed very different from most people. Him and Tyson's styles were so unique.
Yeah.
So that's hard. That's so hard. But here's my So here's my topic. I had a bunch, but this one I'm going to shift directly to this one because it happened today.
Okay.
Context. Some of you guys might already saw it. So Dave Chappelle's trending again today.
Okay.
As he should.
The reason being, he dropped on Instagram a 20-minute video of one of his taped stand-up he's doing because more context, he stopped through Joe Rogan's podcast just on a whim and did like 20 minutes while he was talking to Darnell Rollins.
Yeah.
And then Joe was like, "So what you been up to?" He's like, "Oh, I've been doing shows, but like outside in Ohio where I'm living."
Yeah.
So this tape had to have been there. But this video he dropped today was 20 minutes, and he pretty much, to get to the gist of it, called a boycott of himself. What happened was he was basically explaining the Chappelle show because he said the day they announced he was hosting SNL, Netflix and HBO dropped the Chappelle show that you can watch, right?
Uh-huh.
And he was pissed about it. He's saying this in that 20-minute video on his Instagram.
Yeah.
He's upset about it. And he talked about, like, I signed a bad deal. They owned it. It's shit. But all his specials he's been doing on Netflix, he's exclusively signed to Netflix. You know, he said, like, he asked Netflix, said, "Hey, Netflix, can you take this down? I'm not getting paid for this. This is making me unhappy."
Yeah.
Today, Netflix dropped the Chappelle show.
Oh, wow.
But yes, Chappelle show's gone because he asked them. It's all over the news. You type in Chappelle Netflix, it said Netflix removes Chappelle show on comics request.
Wow.
But HBO Max has not. And he can't do anything. So what he said was, that's why it's trending on Instagram, Twitter. Don't watch Chappelle show. He's asking people not to watch it. He said in this little clip, he said, "Don't boycott the network. Boycott me. Show them that they shouldn't play it unless I get paid." So he's basically asking people to get the views on that thing so low that they have to make room for something else. Because, they cycle through shows, right?
Yeah.
He asked them to not watch it on HBO Max to the point where if they want it, they have to pay him.
Yeah.
That's what's happening right now.
Well, man, that sucks so bad. Like when people are like doing stuff like that, and like that's his intellect that he poured into that, and those contracts, man. And when they take stuff that you put your blood and
Yep.
tears into. Like,
It's exactly what he
Yeah.
said. I tell anybody who wants to check it out, it's on Dave Chappelle's Instagram. He called it Unforgiven.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like his George Floyd stand up where he kind of just sat there and talked.
Yeah.
It wasn't even feeling like a bit. He just did a TED talk and just ripped into HBO Max. And apparently it's trending hard. The fact that Netflix were like, okay, and they took it down today. Because I was going through my list on Netflix and there was this big black square on my queue. I was like,
what is this?
What was here? And then there's nothing there. It's gone.
Yeah.
It was so sudden that the shape of the title is still there. And I was like, all right, I went to sleep, woke up, opened up Instagram, I saw it, and then I was like, what? Watch the video, check the news. They did what he asked, and now he's trying to get everyone to do that
cool.
to HBO.
That's cool. I'm shocked because like usually big like companies like that, like they're like, no, we're gonna drip every coin we can out of it. But so that's kind
But you gotta think of it as like Netflix wants him to be happy because they want more specials out of him. So they're gonna
guarantee. That's a smart move on them.
You want this out? No problem. It's gone today.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. Do you guys have HBO Max?
Yes.
Yeah,
I do.
HBO Max. Yeah,
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it. Yeah, the shows are legit. The exclusive shows they have are legit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. So that's what he asked. It's trending all over Instagram. All the other comedians are rallying behind him. Cedric the Entertainer posted, "Don't watch Chappelle's show." DL Hughley, all the big stars are like, because he literally said in the clip, he's like, I'm gonna teach them a lesson. Them, don't watch this show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Show them that if they want it, they have to pay me. And everyone's like,
Yep.
Facts.
No.
And then he even went into it. He was just like, people were giggling and laughing, but they're like thinking it's a bit. And then you're like, oh no, this man's talking right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, everyone asked me, hey Dave, why don't you make a new show? He's like, I thought about it. But guess what? I can't call it the Chappelle Show. They own it.
Yeah.
It was intense this morning. I'd recommend anyone to check it out. That's why he's trending today.
Dang.
I think Dave Chappelle's one of those guys that's like, no matter what, legend status for like everything he's done, like in the comedic circles, legendary. Like he's like, there's no Mount Rushmore of him. It's just him on that mountain because he's done so much for comedy and like what he stands for in comedy is just crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like he's done a whole lot. I mean, there's some comics I think would deserve to be up there on that Mount Rushmore, but like there's gonna be a lot of old people mad. But like even like greats like what's his name
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, greats like no, he's far surpassed Richard Pryor, and a lot of people thought that was impossible. But yeah, so I mean, there's people that be up there on that Mount Rushmore, but he's the number one. He's the number one, right? Dave Chappelle,
he's so high up, like to the point where he's above Richard Pryor, if not in the same category, which some people thought was impossible to do. The fact that people put Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, like that Rushmore up there, he's almost above all their heads. It's easily arguable.
I'd go willing to say he's above them, just because Eddie. Because I've seen him. I'm younger than all of you, but I've seen all of Eddie's stand up, raw and uncut. I've seen all that, and it's like it's funny and it still holds up.
Yeah,
it still holds up, and I think that's how I solidify a good comic. If your comedy till now stands up, and I can laugh at it, and I can go back and rewatch it in the same week and laugh at it, you're a great comedian. And Eddie Murphy has that effect. Richard Pryor has that effect. Dave Chappelle has that effect. And it's like I'd go up on that whim and say that Dave Chappelle is up on that list.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's it's just like what Kevin Hart said when he was on Joe Rogan's podcast. Dave is the epitome of I do whatever I want.
Yeah.
He is, and I thought about, I was like, yo, it's true. He literally can, with almost zero repercussions, do what he wants, and no one else can say that. Well, in the comedy world.
No.
Yeah.
He never has to apologize. He even says that. I ain't apologizing for nothing.
Yeah. Even even Joe Rogan, $100 million contract. They're still trying to come after him. You know, they're still trying to
Yep.
like
Yep.
yeah. So yeah.
Even Joe Rogan, Kevin Hart, all these comics that I've watched that have podcasts and they talk about Dave, all of them are like, you can't touch Dave. You cannot.
Yeah.
You just cannot.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like I keep thinking about, like, man, what's one thing that people can get at? You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. Even when he did his monologue for SNL, he said some crazy stuff, and then he's just like he called out the producer. He's like, I thought you wanted comedy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
Or even the Mark Twain Award for comedy that special they had for him.
Yeah.
When he was like, I'm not supposed to be smoking on stage. It's called leverage. I'm like, who can do that?
Just him.
Yeah.
Just him.
When you say he did that, he smoked. You remember when I think Keenan Thompson or Chris Rock were doing their monologue, and then Dave just walks up on the stage and then busts out a cigarette.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Only Dave. Only Dave.
Yeah.
Yo, and the way he ended that clip he did this morning, he just went off and just threw the mic on the floor and walked off. And you're just like, this man.
Bravo.
Yep.
It's crazy. So we're gonna see if HBO bends the knee. We're gonna see.
We'll see.
Quick little question. Do you guys think Jerry Seinfeld's funny?
Hell no. Sorry.
No.
I'm
Boomer?
sorry.
No?
I've tried.
No, I've never thought it was funny.
No, hell no.
No. I know there's people that I don't know. People like that kind of crime. I don't know. I don't know anybody that thinks it's funny. But I mean,
I tried. It's not funny.
Comedians in
I'm
cars
sorry.
getting coffee?
was that?
Comedians in cars getting coffee? You guys seen that?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's different though.
Yeah.
That just feels less like a special and him talking with his
Yeah,
friends.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer his style of just like not improv, but like like
Talking.
general banter. Yeah, general banter.
Yeah.
Just,
You gotta
we're
understand,
gonna
like
talk
back in the day, like Seinfeld, like he was like safe for TV. You know,
Yes.
Like,
yes.
that's
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've looked at a lot of comics, like, because that's another thing I really love is I love comedy. I watch a lot of old stand-ups just to see where they came from. I would have to say I can't get into Jerry Seinfeld, but watching him commentate things is perfect because
Yeah.
his banter is amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
His written stuff, not my taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you talk to him off the cuff where he can say whatever, oh my God, he's hilarious.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But his written stuff, like what Rock said, his safe for TV is not funny.
How about Dice?
And-
Dice was a niche.
Yeah. Like back in the day, like back in the 80s and 90s, like that dude
Yeah.
was. I mean, he did his thing.
Yeah.
Like he had
He did stadiums back then.
he did
Yeah, he
stadiums
did.
back then, and then like he had like a residency in Vegas, didn't he?
Yes.
I think he still has it. I
Oh,
think.
does he still have it?
remember.
Yeah.
He still has poster boards. Last time I was on the strip, he still has poster boards up there.
Yeah. So I mean, he's
his is his niche, his niche.
like a
It's
character.
very
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And then I went into the room. Oh,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
he was funny when I saw him once.
What about Carrot Top? What do y'all think about Carrot Top?
Who's that?
What? He had a residency in Vegas
I'm
too.
messing-
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
I was about to say.
messing.
I was yo, Rock, we about to get old right now.
No. I don't like prop comedy. I don't like prop comedy at all.
I like him because it's like watching a train wreck.
Yeah, I always
You
thought,
don't like his comedy then?
I always thought he was whack. I thought he was whack.
That's why I find it funny because I'm not laughing at his jokes. I'm laughing directly at him.
And I remember when he got like all
His
into
roided out
yeah,
Botox statue face
yeah,
is funny because he is a mess.
yeah.
George Lopez.
I find him funny. Yes.
He's all right. Yeah, he's all right.
I'm with
The only
Rock.
reason I find him funny is because I relate to him because the way he grew up is the way my mom grew up, and the way my mom grew up is how I grew up. You know what I mean? His comedy of the Latino like Californian Latinos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
My mom grew up in the Bay Area. Everything that he talked about, my mom went through, and she kind of instilled upon me.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I find George
what
funny.
about Carlos Mencia?
Who's that?
Who again?
Who?
Who?
That nobody?
Yeah,
The one that was gonna get kicked in the face by Joe Rogan when he was in top peak condition.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
I thought he was funny the first time.
Oh, I got a good one. Yeah, go for it. My bad.
I thought he was funny the first time, and then you keep watching him, it just goes down. He's like good once. Honest opinion.
He was on a he did an interview not too long ago. It was on a podcast. As a popular dude, man, I forget what the dude's name is, but he was on an interview and he was like a straight bitch on that interview. And the guy was like, he was like, hey, let's talk about the whole thing and the thing with you and Joe Rogan and all this. And he's like,
I've seen that one.
yeah, he's like,
I've seen that one.
like, would you go on his show and talk to him? And like Carlos Mencia,
He got real mad.
he was a straight bitch the whole time, man.
Yeah, he was big mad. He was big mad for no reason.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Dane Cook.
But oddly enough, there's this doc that I saw a trailer for about the Comedy Store or whatever, where Joe Rogan confronted Carlos Mencia because at the time Carlos was the it star because of his show.
Yeah.
And then Joe Rogan was the guard of that shop. Everyone knew that was Joe's store, and then he got blackballed because they were defending the money cow, which was Mencia.
Yeah.
It was, I think it's on Showtime, but there's a whole doc about that incident.
Yeah. I remember he was like taking like Bill Cosby's jokes from like decades
Yes, he was.
ago and a bunch of people. Yeah, it was crazy.
YouTube exposed his ass hard.
Big time. Yeah, man.
YouTube.
He fell hard. Like that was like,
You know, the crazy part was they interviewed, they talked about it with Joe on this doc trailer I saw, and everyone didn't believe Joe at first.
yeah,
YouTube came back and was like, no, Joe's telling the truth. And, you know, all the fans started mushing up the stolen jokes.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, we messed up. Joe was telling the
'cause
truth.
Joe was getting booed because of it at first. Like,
Yeah. He got blackballed.
Yeah.
He got blackballed because he confronted him.
Yeah.
And then YouTube proved Joe wasn't lying.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Dane Cook.
Dane Cook.
Same category as Mencia. Good once, and then you realize he's saying the same crap over and over.
Yeah. He's fluky. He's just
good one time.
Yeah, one trick pony.
One time.
He's fluky. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some comedians you can only watch once.
Yeah.
Carlos Mencia, Dane Cook. What's another one? Carrot Top.
Yeah.
But no, there's some greats that you can just continuously watch them.
Bill Burr is one of those for me.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr is hilarious because he's a savage.
Yeah, Bill. I like his podcast that he does, like Bill Burr's podcast. Yeah.
His solo one or his with somebody else?
I think it's a solo one. I think his wife gets on it sometimes with it, and he just talks about like crazy stuff. I just think his personality, like personality wise, like he's just like, yeah, he's hella cool.
It's almost like he's the extreme. As weird as it sounds, it's the only way I can word it. He's almost like the extreme version of Dave Chappelle. What I mean by extreme version, Dave says anything he wants, but it's so worded properly that everyone's like, they listen. But Burr just comes out with a right hook to your face. Like just be like, this is what the I'm saying.
It's like raw emotion. It's like he's not.
Yeah. That's why, he's the extreme of the two. While Dave says whatever he wants, but he words it so, I guess you could say, elegantly.
Yeah.
And then Burr just punches you in the face and says it's funny.
What about Amy Schumer?
She's not funny. She's not funny.
I've never heard anything of her. I'm sorry.
She is not funny.
Complete trash.
Not funny.
Yeah. Not funny at all. Yeah.
She's not like her and Tiffany Haddish came up at the same time. I think Tiffany Haddish is 10 times funnier than Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
Like, Tiffany Haddish is funny. That girl is funny.
Yeah.
And her interviews of being thirsty with other celebrities is the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Where she, hit on Brad Pitt in an elevator and shit like that. Like, Tiffany Haddish is funny. Amy Schumer tries too hard.
Yeah.
She tries too hard.
I've never seen anything about her. So.
Yeah.
She's not funny, dude. She's not funny.
You ain't missed nothing.
No, you ain't missing nothing. Yeah. Even her movies are not funny. She's cringy. Yeah. She's super cringy.
Movies.
But, yeah. So, that was my topic. Unless Y'all want another one? I had another one lined up.
What are we looking at, Rock? We looking good, or
Well,
you wanna?
I mean, we keep going. We're pushing on
We're
2
about to
hours.
hit.
Yeah, we're pushing on
Yeah.
2 hours here.
Here, we'll end on this one then. This
Okay.
one could literally knock out 15
Okay.
minutes.
Okay.
We're just gonna switch subjects. We're gonna make it nerd related.
All right.
If you could relive any game again, and when I mean relive, I'm not talking about a remastered with nostalgia goggles because that's different. Like you get a remaster of a game, you play it again, like, oh, I remember this. It's not the same because you know what's happening. You're just reminiscing. I'm talking about wiped from your memory bank and relive that moment again. What game would it be? It could be any. It could be more than one. But what game would you
Yeah, man.
clear out of your mind to experience one more time, off the top of your head?
There's a bunch of games like that, man.
Well, just any. It doesn't have to be one. It could be a few, but just one at the top of your head that you don't want to remaster. You don't want nostalgia goggles. You want to wipe it from your brain and experience it in all its glory, like you were a kid again.
Yeah. Oh.
I got a couple. I would say mine. One of them for me would be. Let me see. Super Mario 3
Okay.
on the NES, the one with the Tanuki suit and the raccoon
Yeah.
tail.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that for nostalgia, but the first time I played it, it was
Okay. So
that's one for me.
one for me. DuckTales on the NES. That's one. Uh,
Hmm.
it'll be the first Mario Kart Super Nintendo. That's
Oh
another one.
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, and then there's so many, but like on the PC would be
Ultima,
huh?
is it going to be Ultima?
No. I do love that though. I do love that.
Thought I had
Yeah, would be
Ultima.
ascendancy on the PC and Star Wars Dark Forces Jedi Knight 2 on the PC. Those would be mine.
That's a good one. What about you, man? What about you, Capo? If you could wipe it from your brain and relive it again, not nostalgia. I'm talking about that, reminisce. You know what I mean? Like that first, like that game blew your mind.
Here's the thing.
And
I've never I'm a gamer. Yes, I play games. But I've never felt that for a game.
really,
I've never really felt. I have games that I'll go back to, like Need for Speed. Need for Speed did a remake, and it was just called Need for Speed, but it was kind of like street racing. I like street racing, but
yeah,
eesh.
Yo, man, some of them games, man, had that magic. Like, you're just like, man, yeah. There's a good number of games.
But talking about that, the one that does come to mind is Battlefield 3.
I could,
Battlefield 3
that
is
was
when I actually started really gaming, because I've always had video games. I've always had Game Boys. I've always had
Yeah.
PlayStations, PlayStation 2s and stuff.
Yeah,
But when I got into Battlefield 3 with my boy and we actually started playing online and actually grinding and playing a game and headshots, sniping,
yeah,
that's where I found that love for
Yeah.
oh, this is cool. This is great. We could drive a tank?
Yeah.
What?
It could be a modern game. Let me put that out there for if anybody wants to comment on this.
Yeah.
It's any genre, any year. It could be modern. Like if it was a modern game for me that I would love to relive that devoured my life, Assassin's Creed 2 when it came out blew my mind. Like it could be modern too. It could be modern also.
2 is the one with
Ezio.
Ezio. Yep.
The very first time I met
Assassin.
that character. Yeah, Assassin.
Whenever you're running by Assassin.
Because it was Italy. It was like yeah, I
Uh,
was thinking about that with my friends. I was like, man, this would be a good topic. It's like, what would you want to relive? Not nostalgia. I mean, like that moment again.
yeah. And
I would say Assassin's Creed 2.
there's so many. There's so many, man. I can go on and on.
That was a good one, though, right? That's a good question,
Yeah,
huh?
that's a good one. Yeah.
Because everyone could say nostalgia because they're cranking out these remasters
Yeah.
like crazy.
Yeah.
It's fun. Nostalgia is fun, but it will never give you that feeling of when you first booted it up ever.
yeah, because
Yeah.
for me, Black Ops was my first game that I got with the PS4, and I had it and it was cool and all, but when I got Battlefield 3 and we started grinding on Battlefield 3, that was a way different experience where you actually fell in love with the game.
That's what I'm talking about.
Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 is one of those too.
No, we ain't talking about Street Fighter. No, you be quiet over there. No. You want a fun story? You wanna feel bad about yourself? All right, here's the story. Okay, all right. So, back in 2000 and whatever, I don't even remember when.
You know the date.
I was living on.
You know the date.
No, I
Come
really
on.
don't.
Okay.
Whenever Street Fighter 4 came out, what was that 2005, 6, 7,
No,
8,
it was
9?
way after that.
Something.
Yeah, no.
Street Fighter 4.
It was when we were like in our big like partying days.
Okay, so I'd say 2009 or 8.
Something like Street Fighter 4.
It just came out. I was working at GameStop. Rock was staying at my house because he was stopping through for a few months. And a perk at GameStop is you could check out a game for like a day or two, right? You could check out the stock and bring it back because we needed to know how the game plays, so if we need to sell it, right? I texted him. I was like, yo, man, this new Street Fighter came out. You want to try it? He's like, yeah, man, I love Street Fighter. Context. I don't play Street Fighter at all. At all. Rock here goes, man, I haven't played Street Fighter since the arcades when I was a kid. I'm like, all right, let's play it. And he's like, I wonder if the controls are the same. And then beat my ass for 3 hours. It was like 25-0. The only reason I got one win is because he tried a new character that just came out with the game. He's like, man, this is exactly how I remember. Come to find out, the controls are exactly the goddamn same. Yeah. 2 to 3 hours. He whooped my ass.
Dude.
And he's doing that passive aggressive talking shit like, man, I haven't touched this since the 90s. I'm still good.
Oh, damn.
I haven't touched this since the 90s.
Dude,
and I literally took the game out.
They do the same combo. What? That is crazy.
Dude, he took that shit back the next day.
This game, bro. This game.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Bro. You know, it's crazy, too. Like, speaking of fighting games, a couple of my friends came through Hawaii. One station here now, the other one was stopping through. And these guys really taught me about, like, fighting games and, like, that world. Like, you cannot say you're good at a fighting game until, like, they would tell me, like, you're not good until you play in a tournament. I'm like, what you mean? He's like, trust me, you're not that good. And then I see them play, and these guys are, like, ridiculously good. And then found out this guy goes to Evo, the really large fighting game tournament that happens in Vegas every year. And he makes it out of pools. Like, what I mean pools is like, you know, they put you in groups of pools you got to fight out of to get to the brackets.
Yeah.
And they're like 200 something deep. Getting out of pools is an accomplishment on its own. He gets out of pools and gets into like brackets and semis consistently. And like, yo, fighting games, like you think you're good until you play somebody who does it like competitively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they beat your ass.
Yeah,
it kind of felt like when Kurosu was beating my ass in that game. It felt like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna roll through with Tekken whenever you guys want. Whenever you guys want, I'll roll through with Tekken.
I wish I got really good at Tekken. I was getting good, and then I stopped practicing. And that's a thing, like fighting games. If you don't practice, you're gonna get wrecked.
I was good at Tekken back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you play Eddie?
All the time. Yeah, I play Eddie. There's other people I play too, but yeah, Eddie. Yeah,
easy character.
Of course.
He's gonna match.
You had to. You had to. You do a couple of.
I can do that. I can do that. No, maybe not that.
Floor comes out. You're like, okay, I can't do that. No, speaking of Tekken, you know how many times when I did demonstrations at the comic conventions out here, I had to explain that the flare is not a thing.
What do you mean? You never just done a flare in the middle of the holla?
You're just not with flares.
Because I was using the fact that at the time when we were still with Mestre Marcelo, for those who don't know, Capo, the master who was teaching out of Oakland, one of the first masters in Brazil in the 90s, was brought out to Japan out of California, and he did the motion capture for Eddie. So the Eddie you see is master I used to train under, who gave me my first belt. You know, he said that when they did the motion capture for Eddie, everything he did was him except for the flare. They brought in a gymnast, but it became such a predominant move. So when I was pitching these demos to the comic convention, I was like, yeah, so my master at the time, back when I was a kid, was the guy who did Eddie. Oh, that's perfect. We have a Tekken tournament. We'll get you, a demonstration. First question, do a flare.
Do it.
Can you do a flare? Can I see the flare? I'm like, oh, God. And then you'll see the excitement, and then I'm like, okay, so because I'll have the pictures of when he was in the motion capture suit from Mestre Marcelo's Facebook.
Yeah.
He's like, so they put him in the suit. He did everything besides the flare. That was done by a gymnast on a pommel horse. And everyone goes, oh.
I'm gonna go next door.
Every year, man, I'll get somebody to say, do the flare. Do the flare.
Yeah.
Are you guys telling me? Are you guys really telling me, as capoeiristas, you never just fall on all fours and just in the middle of the hala? You never fall on all fours backwards? No?
Not while swinging my feet like this, no.
No, there's a stance that Eddie does that he falls on all fours on the floor, just sits on his butt and just waits for the person to get close.
Oh yes.
Well, not sit on your butt, but yeah, you can, catch your cuatro.
Yeah, but have you done that? Have you done that in the middle of the hala?
Oh,
no, not because somebody got you or anything. Just on purpose, just fell back on all fours and waited.
No.
Of course not. Of course not.
It's like it stopped out.
Yeah. Honestly, and I think about it, Tekken 3 would be another game I would love to relive because it had Eddie. Because I grew up watching only the strong, and then Tekken came out, and there was a character that did capoeira. So yeah, Tekken 3 would have been a one for me. Tekken 3.
I want to keep going because I have a question, but we're already.
What's the question? Real quick. What is it?
Real quick.
Do you guys have a movie or show that impacted your life?
Yeah, definitely. Easy. Oh, I have a few, but literally just because I just said it, only the strong, without a doubt. Without a doubt, only the strong.
Only the strong.
Just because I said it, there's way more.
There's way more.
Yeah.
The Star Wars movies, yeah. Only the strong, yeah.
Ace Ventura, I can still quote that from start to finish.
I'm trying to think, man. Like that's got me on the spot now because I'm like trying to think. What about you, Capo?
I got a Comic Book Man with Kevin Smith.
That's funny.
That show really like it because I was starting comics at that point. And then I found the show and I was like, oh, this is great. This showed more, and like I follow those guys on their own podcast and like their stuff they do. Mm-hmm. Then there's other show called Street Outlaws that these dudes drag race down the street illegally. And but I kind of like the guys more than the show really because these guys are like straight ghetto, like well they're white boys, but they're ghetto and they're like down to earth and like they're like they'll say straight up like we're pieces of shit. You shouldn't look up to us. Like this isn't a lifestyle you should want. We do this because we like doing this, and we do this until one of us dies. And one dude, like one of the main characters, his name is Big Chief. He got in a car accident in a race with this dude that like prior to him racing him, they went to Detroit to race that guy, and that race, that dude crossed the line and almost hit another guy. So they go to Oklahoma. The dude that crossed that line, his name was like Brian or something like that, Brian Chucky Davis. And now he's like, all right, I'm going to race you now. I'm the fastest. I didn't have my car at the time. I'm the fastest. You're going to race me, and you're the fastest. Dude crosses the line again and hits him, and he like tumbles, goes over a fence, and like just lands, and pretty much like almost broke his back. Yeah. Next season, he builds a new car, and he's back racing again. I'm like, that's
wild.
Kind of learned these guys more than the show, right? Because I've seen the show like ever since it kind of started, but like these guys are the guys that I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to live my life that way. The like I do stuff because I want to do it, no matter what people
passion.
Yeah, exactly.
Passion. You're captivated by being passionate about something like that. Yeah, that can captivate anybody. I'm pretty sure if I watched it, I would have been the same way. Seeing people passionate about something.
The show doesn't really highlight that. Really, it's just the people, right? Once you get to learn the people and stuff, and like listen to like what else they're putting out there stuff, that passion is kind of like And I also like what's it called? I vibe with them. I'm a too, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'm with you guys.
Damn. Yeah.
That's why we're all friends.
Birds of a feather.
Locked together.
Birds of a feather.
All right, Rock, what you got? All right, Rock, what you got?
What's that?
What you got? You didn't answer.
No, I did.
I said you were thinking of one.
I said.
Oh, I thought you were thinking of one.
Yeah, no, I said
Star Wars.
Only the strong. Yeah.
Only the strong also did play a big part as well.
Yeah. The only reason I said that one off the top is I said it earlier, but there's tons of more movies that impact. Yeah.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But we're at
woo,
the,
we hit the 2 hour
Yeah,
mark,
yeah,
people.
yeah,
Woo!
yeah. We hit
Easily.
the 2 hour mark.
Easy work. Easy
That was
work.
easy, man.
Easy
Yeah.
work.
Easy work.
We could have gone on
Easy
and
work.
on. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But quick disclaimer again, I'm just gonna throw that out there again, everybody. Take note. You can disagree and not want to kill each other.
yeah.
yeah, not kill
Because
each other.
because we talked about fandoms, and fandoms will murder each other all the time.
But you sure as hell
It's
can steal from your
okay.
friends. Just giving you guys a heads up. You can steal from your friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to throw it out there because I always like to say that, like, whenever it comes to debates on some things, I can debate with you guys and my friends here all day long, but there's some people that you just know you can't because you just know it's just gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So please, guys, if you guys watch this, I know we touched on some subjects that can trigger people,
Yeah.
but just be open and just understand everyone's different. We're all human.
We're cool. We all have
Yeah.
love for each other. We'll be back here next time laughing and giggling just like we were today.
Yep. Again and again.
Put in the comments all the questions we asked. What's
Be it-
your what all of that? Answer. Movie, game, comedy, Star Wars, comics, you know? Use that comment section, people.
Yeah.
BNZ podcast on IG. Go follow, go like. I'll get on it right now and make it look pretty, but go do that.
There's nothing there now, just our name.
If you stuck to
Shh, they don't know that.
if you stuck to the end, go ahead and leave a comment. You know, let us know that you made it to the end. Rate, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.
What is this for, right? This is the fourth one?
It's the third one. This is the third one.
Third one, right? Okay.
So I jumped in on number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna put clips of a bunch of them up too, but yeah. So
Shout out to Rock. Shout out to Rock. I know you were about to end it, but shout out to Rock, man. You're the mastermind behind all this, man. Shout out to you.
yo, now we all are, man. Wouldn't be without us.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, thanks, appreciate it. But yeah,
That was a good one, boys. That was a good one.
Man. Well, thanks for listening.
Yep.
Appreciate y'all.
I know.
Rock, close us out.
Yep. Oh wait. Gotta turn my camera, like, we've been recording so long. Gotta keep it going. But anyway, rate, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Later, citizens.